The backfire! So today we're going to be attempting to change our blow-off valve to a block-off plate. Now this Subaru BRZ is turbocharged and it's running the Speed by Design kit, which has been great so far and I've had zero issues. But we're going to go ahead and try. I'm going to show you the before and after to give you that the difference. Again, we're going to go from the blow-off sound to the turbo flutter or the compression surge, which is the sweet, sweet, iconic like turbo flutter. So hopefully it turns out great and you guys can see a little before and after here. So like I said, this is the Speed by Design kit right there. Obviously mine looks a little bit different than the stock one. I've made a few adjustments, things like that, but generally this is what you can expect with it. So right there is the stock blow-off valve. We're gonna go and take it off and see what we're working with and see if we can actually block that off or not. Now I am going to try and attempt to do this without taking off the entire bumper, so hopefully we can finesse it through here, but we'll see. But again, we're just loosening up this end right here. So we've gone ahead and taken off the intercooler now, and now we just need to disconnect the little other cable that's attached there. And mine is just a flat tip there. So I was able to go ahead and get it out of there. Unfortunately, I couldn't fish it out through the front bumper here, but I was able to on the underside. I began to take this bottom cover off with a clip, which only took forever to take off, even though it should only take a few seconds or so. It fought me the entire way. Actually, on the bottom right side right here, I don't know if maybe mine is just missing the wheel fender covers or whatnot, but I was able to just slide it out through the bottom right there where my hand is. So looking at the blow-off valve here, it actually does use a clamp style to go on the intercooler. So unfortunately, we won't be able to just, cut out our steel or whatnot, or sheet metal, and just, have the holes for these screws for it to mount. We're actually going to have to kind of finesse this a little bit. I've got an idea. I'm thinking about going ahead and doing like a circle cutout. It does have the rubber seal right there. So my best bet so far is we're going to go ahead and do a circle block off plate and put it on there and see if we can get enough tension to hold it on there. But let's go ahead and try that. So I'm using the sheet metal from Lowe's. This is the weldable steel 6x18. So if you're wanting to get the same exact thing as I did, that's what I got right there, again from Lowe's. And of course we have the 10 snips right here that we're going to use to cut it out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is take this clamp completely off so we can get a better outline for the sheet metal there. And this is what we're working with right here. So it appears that this gasket is going to set inside the groove right there. So when we make the metal, we're going to want it to go all the way to the outside edge there so it sits kind of flush. Well, hopefully I didn't just mess that up there at the very end. Looks like I went a little too deep there, but we're going to find out here in just a second. Now I'm just going to clean it up a bit. Pretty good. So we're going to see how that sits. All right, so this is the final product here. This is what we're working with. You can see I gave it a slight indentation on the sides because I did notice this piece kind of protrudes up right there. So I had it to where it'll kind of bend up just a little bit, and then the ends will actually sit more flush. So we're gonna go and get everything together, slap it on, and see if this worked or not. Again, this is kind of like a Hail Mary. We're gonna see if this will actually work. So this is what it looks like right here. We're gonna go ahead and put it in and see what happens. All right, so couldn't get it to shove on there very well. This just kind of kept moving and getting in the way. So adding some tape to kind of hold it in place, and it might actually help act like a seal as well. So let's see if this works. All right, so I was able to get this on there with this metal block-off plate, but I wasn't too happy with it, and it just didn't sit right, and it was kind of loose in my opinion. So it did make the slight turbo surge sound, but we're gonna try something new here. So I went to Lowe's and I got this 2-inch like end cap here. It's like a rubber end cap. We're going to try and see if I can put this over the intercooler and see if maybe we can make this work. So surprisingly, this actually does fit on there pretty good. Again, we're going to tighten it down with the with this here. However, it's not as tight as I wanted it to be. Just without on there, I kind of wanted to be able to smash it on there and have to struggle to get it on. But they didn't. They had a size smaller, but it would have been way too small. So we're going to see how this holds. All right, so I have it nice and snug on there, and I've got it as tight as I possibly can. Again, I'm not super optimistic this is gonna hold for a whole lot, especially under pressure and boost and all that, but we're gonna give it a go and see what happens. All right, so now we have to do something with the vacuum line that used to attach to the blow-off valve. Obviously, if we were leaving the blow-off valve, we could have just left it attached, but now we've got to find a way to plug this up. All right, so this is what I got set up with right now. Obviously, it's ridiculous. Do I recommend doing this? Absolutely not. Are we gonna do it? You bet your ass. Now, again, we're just testing this, we're messing around, we're seeing how the turbo flutter, the compression surge sounds with this kit. Again, go and do this right if you're gonna do this. We'll eventually go ahead and get the right parts if we decide to stick with it. And I do understand there's a lot of controversy with the whole turbo flutter and everything like that. It can damage your turbo. I'm sure on some level it does, but there's also a lot of videos and people who swear by it that it does not. So again, I think we can all appreciate the turbo or the compressor surge sound. So we're gonna go ahead and try it up and see how it sounds now. So not a whole lot of compression surges happening, just, revving it right here at idle, but we're gonna go take it for a quick spin and see how it sounds while actually driving it. And so far, everything seems to be holding okay. So here's a second gear pull. Definitely sounds good. It's not quite as loud as I'd hoped, but it's definitely there. One thing that seems to be happening too is there's a little bit more backfire. Again, I'm not super certain that that's completely normal. Maybe it is when you do the compression surge, but I like it. I am babying it just a little bit. I don't want to push it too soon, too quick and something happen, but again, we're just trying everything out here and seeing how it sounds. And I don't know if it's a mental thing, but it seems to be more jumpy. It seems like the car's kind of taking off a little bit quicker than normal. Maybe it's just me. It's probably in my head, but woo! The backfire! Love it. Definitely getting that iconic turbo surge sound there. Love it. Hopefully you guys are able to pick that up on video as well. Not quite sure how well it's coming through, but hopefully it's coming through enough so you can hear it. Again, we're really only getting maybe 4 or 5 psi. It's kind of hard to really open her up on this road here, but we're getting something. So hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button as it really helps me out. And if you do like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe because I'm here to stay. And I'd love to put more content out for you guys. All right, we're gonna give it a little bit right here, a little bit of sauce.